I have in my hand here a two-way Saorsat splitter that's available on the tvtrade.ie website. The idea being that you can take a feed from a Ka-band LNB, feed it in here and split it to feed two independent satellite receivers. Okay, so let's just first of all look at what a Ka-band LNB looks like. So here we have one in my hand here. Okay, and the first thing you'll note about it is it has two outputs on it. So if actually you can take two feeds directly off the Ka-band LNBs that we sell, simply because they're twin LNBs. Okay, so but it might be preferable that you want to split, we'll say, the 4 televisions and take 2 feeds from this and split it twice, or you might just want to run a single cable in and split it subsequently. So let's just look at what a Saorsat, a satellite dish setup, would normally look like. Sometimes you can set it up just with the Ka-band LNB here in the center, but normally what people are doing is they're putting on offset arms, using with an 80 centimeter dish, and also putting in a second LNB, just an ordinary LNB that's aimed at the Astra 2 satellite, basically for the FreeSat channels, BBC, ITV, etc. Okay, normally then what we're doing is we're taking a feed from each one, from the Saorsat and also from the FreeSat, and we're feeding it into this, which is called a DiSEC switch. Okay, and the idea with the DiSEC switch is we've had boxes pre-programmed to take feeds from DiSEC switches, which basically saying take feeds from 2 different satellite feeds and feed it into a single cable and feed a box from it. Okay, and it allows us to put, we'll say, the Irish and the UK channels on a single box. So LNB1 is reserved in our setup for the Saorsat input, and LNB2 is set up for the FreeSat channels, and the receiver then takes a single feed from there and feeds it directly to a box. So what we have here is we have a satellite receiver that we've preset for the BBCs and the Irish channels, although currently only the Irish channels are being inputted, okay? So what we're going to do here is, if I just grab the remote control here and just press, we can see we're on the Irish channel. So currently with only a Saorsat feed on the back, it's just the first 6 channels, but if we use a DiSEC switch similar to what I showed, we can actually put in the BBCs and the ITVs in the similar setup, okay? So I'll simply just exit out there. So we have the Irish channel there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to disconnect the Saorsat feed, and I'm going to feed it into this two-way splitter here. And now I'm going to try to reconnect through this splitter, first of all to a single box. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to take this feed out here, and I just screw it in here like this. And on the far end, just to save on time, I just have actually push-on F connectors, which I'll use to connect this to the LNB in input on this box. Okay? So we just push it in directly here. Okay? So hopefully anyway, this picture will come back up, and we'll see that picture is now, the input is now going through the LNB, or through the splitter. So now we'll try to connect the second box. So I connect the other output from the splitter, and I feed it to the LNB input of this box, which is equally programmed up from the same USB key stick with the Saorsat channels on it. And what we'll do here is, I'm just going to make sure this box is on, which it is, and I'll just move over this HDMI input so we can see the output of this box on the screen here. And we can see this is on a different channel here, but we can actually channel up and down, and we can see that we can view channels independently of each box off a single feed. Okay. Now, also available inside this range, we can go for a 4-way LNB or a 4-way splitter, which allows us to split the Saorsat signal to up to 4 different set-top boxes. Okay, so that, you know, hopefully this input here is useful, just to give you an idea of how easy it is to use this to split the signal off to multiple televisions. It's a unique feature to the Ka-band LNB here, because like normally with the normal LNBs that you have, it's not possible to use a splitter to split the signal off. So that's it anyway, overview of the 4-way Saorsat LNB splitter.